The origins of the Inca civilization. In the harsh, towering landscapes of the Andes Mountains, the Inca civilization emerged as a powerful force, gradually consolidating an empire that would dominate the region. The Inca people trace their origins to a mystical foundation led by Manco Cápac, a figure said to be sent by Inti, the sun god. Emerging from the sacred waters of Lake Titicaca, Manco Cápac and his sister wife, Mama Oclo, are believed to have founded the city of Cusco, or the navel of the world, marking the beginning of what would become one of the largest and most sophisticated empires in pre-Columbian Americas. The Incas were initially a small group among many Andean cultures, but through strategic alliances, military conquests, and a deeply rooted sense of divine mission, they expanded their influence. Their journey from a local tribe to rulers of the Andes culminated under the leadership of Pachacuti Inca Yupanqui, who transformed Cusco and set the stage for an empire that would stretch from present-day Colombia to central Chile. Pachacuti and the foundations of the empire. Pachacuti's vision extended beyond the expansion of territory. He saw the need for an enduring system of governance and cultural cohesion across diverse groups. Under his rule, the Inca Empire began to take shape as Tawantinsuyu, or the Land of Four Quarters. This organizational structure was revolutionary, dividing the empire into four suyus: Chinchasuyu, Antisuyu, Colasuyu, and Kuntisuyu, with Cusco at its center. Each suyu was overseen by local administrators who answered directly to the Sapa Inca, creating a hierarchy that allowed efficient management of this vast empire. To integrate conquered territories, Pachacuti introduced policies that maintained local traditions while binding subjects to Inca customs and loyalties. This diplomatic approach enabled the Incas to expand their influence peacefully while still deploying military force when necessary. The army, consisting of warriors from all over the empire, facilitated expansion and kept rebellious groups in check, securing the cohesion of Tawantinsuyu. The structure and governance of Tawantinsuyu. The Inca Empire's sophisticated administration was upheld by a unique social system that revolved around the Ayllu, kin groups or clans, which were self-sustaining units responsible for various duties, such as agricultural production and maintaining infrastructure. The concept of mita, a labor tax, was a critical element in this system, where members of the Ayllu contributed labor to state projects, from building roads to constructing terraces. In return, the empire provided essential goods and protection, fostering a sense of interdependence and loyalty. In the absence of a written language, the Incas developed quipu, a system of knotted cords that recorded census data, tributes, and important events. This ingenious method allowed administrators to manage resources, distribute goods, and maintain order across the sprawling empire, creating a bureaucratic structure that rivaled contemporary civilizations in complexity. Inca engineering and the architectural marvels. One of the most awe-inspiring aspects of the Inca Empire was its architectural and engineering prowess, which allowed them to construct enduring cities, temples, and roads across some of the most challenging landscapes on Earth. The Qhapaq Ñan, a vast network of roads and bridges extending more than 25,000 miles, connecting the empire's regions, from coastal deserts to mountainous terrain. This road network, which included suspension bridges over rivers and stone paths through mountainous areas, facilitated military, economic, and cultural exchange across the empire. The Incas were not only master road builders, but also expert city planners. Cusco was designed to resemble the shape of a puma, symbolizing strength and protection, with Sacsayhuaman, a fortress overlooking the city, serving as its head. Sacsayhuaman's stone walls, built from massive stones cut to fit together without mortar, exemplify Inca masonry techniques. These walls, which have withstood centuries of earthquakes, are a testament to the Incas' deep understanding of geology and seismic resistance. Yet, among all their architectural achievements, Machu Picchu remains the most iconic and mysterious. Nestled on a mountain ridge above the Urubamba Valley, Machu Picchu was built in the mid-15th century during Pachacuti's reign and may have served as a royal estate or a religious retreat. Constructed at an altitude of nearly 8,000 feet, it exemplifies Inca ingenuity and their unparalleled ability to adapt their architecture to natural landscapes. Machu Picchu's terraces and water systems. The Incas mastered the art of terracing, which allowed them to cultivate crops on the steep Andean slopes and stabilize the mountain terrain to prevent landslides. The agricultural terraces at Machu Picchu not only provided space for growing maize, potatoes, and other crops, but also served as retaining walls that protected the site from erosion. Each terrace was engineered with a sophisticated drainage system of gravel and sand layers that prevented waterlogging, showcasing the Incas' knowledge of hydrology. The water management system at Machu Picchu is equally remarkable. The Incas channeled water from natural springs to supply the site through a series of aqueducts and stone conduits that distributed water throughout the city. This water system provided a reliable source of fresh water to residents and was so well designed that parts of it still function today, hundreds of years after the site was abandoned. The Inti stone, an astronomically aligned rock pillar, further reveals the Incas' alignment with celestial movements, possibly used as a sundial or ritual marker to indicate important seasonal events such as the solstices. Sacred structures and architectural harmony. Machu Picchu contains numerous sacred structures that align with the Incas' religious beliefs and reverence for the natural world. The Temple of the Sun is one of the site's most significant structures, built atop a natural rock formation and featuring a trapezoidal window that captures the first light of the solstice sun. This precision in alignment highlights the Incas' understanding of astronomy and their deep-rooted spiritual connection to celestial cycles. The Room of Three Windows is another notable structure, offering views over the surrounding valleys and mountains that underscore the Incas' focus on integrating architecture with landscape. These windows were likely symbolic, representing the three realms of the Inca cosmology: the underworld, the earthly world, and the celestial realm. Through such designs, the Incas harmonized their built environment with the sacred landscape, reflecting their cosmological beliefs and reverence for the divine in their daily lives. Inca masonry techniques and earthquake-resistant structures. The Incas' masonry techniques are evident throughout Machu Picchu and other sites, where they used ashlar masonry, a method of cutting and shaping stone to fit together precisely without mortar. This dry stone construction allowed the buildings to absorb seismic shocks, as each stone was able to move slightly during an earthquake without collapsing. This structural adaptability proved crucial in the earthquake-prone Andes, where Machu Picchu and other Inca constructions have survived for centuries. The use of polygonal masonry, where stones are cut into complex, interlocking shapes, further exemplifies the Incas' advanced knowledge of structural stability. Unlike simpler construction methods, polygonal masonry distributed weight more evenly and allowed for greater flexibility in shifting terrains. The precision with which stones were cut and fitted remains a marvel to modern architects and archaeologists, who continue to study the Inca masonry techniques to understand their durability and sophistication. Economy and trade in the Inca Empire. The Inca economy was unique in its structure, lacking currency and relying instead on reciprocity and redistribution. The state collected resources through the meter labor tax and distributed them as needed, allowing surpluses to support less productive regions and mitigating the effects of poor harvests or natural disasters. This system ensured that resources were shaped equitably across the empire, maintaining a level of economic stability that was unusual for the time. Agriculture formed the backbone of the Inca economy, with reliance on terracing, irrigation, and crop diversification to cultivate a variety of crops suited to different climates. The Incas also developed intricate storage facilities known as qualcas, which held surplus food, textiles, and other essentials, enabling the state to respond effectively to food shortages or disasters. The absence of markets and barter system emphasized the role of the state as a central distributor, highlighting the Incas' approach to centralized economic planning. Religion and cosmology. The Inca religion was rooted in the worship of natural forces and celestial bodies. Inti, the sun god, was the supreme deity, with the Sapa Inca serving as his earthly representative. The Coricancha temple in Cusco, covered in gold, was the empire's most sacred site dedicated to Inti. Inca cosmology divided existence into three realms: Hanan Pacha, the upper world; Kay Pacha, the earthly realm; and Uku Pacha, the underworld. This tripartite view of the universe influenced their rituals, with each realm represented in architecture and art. To honor their gods, the Incas performed rituals that ranged from simple offerings of food and drink to elaborate ceremonies. Qhapaq Ñan, a grand festival held in December, celebrated this summer solstice, reinforcing the Incas' bond with the sun. Qhapaq, a sacrificial ritual, was performed during significant events or natural calamities, when selected children, revered for their purity, were sacrificed on mountain summits to appease the gods and bring balance to the world. The decline and fall of the Inca Empire. This is one of the most dramatic episodes in history, characterized by internal conflict, external invasion, and catastrophic disease. At its height, the Inca Empire, Tawantinsuyu, spanned vast territories across the Andes, from modern-day Colombia to Chile. However, its rapid collapse in the 16th century was precipitated by a combination of internal vulnerabilities and the arrival of the Spanish conquistadors. Internal conflict and civil war. The death of Emperor Manco Cápac in 1527 marked the beginning of a turbulent period for the empire. His passing, likely due to a European disease such as smallpox introduced before the Spanish arrival, left the throne contested. A bitter civil war erupted between his sons, Atahualpa and Huáscar. Atahualpa, commanding forces from the northern capital of Quito, eventually defeated Huáscar, but the conflict left the empire deeply divided. Factionalism among the notability and the exhaustion of resources weakened the Inca's ability to respond to external threats. Spanish conquest and the capture of Atahualpa. In 1532, Francisco Pizarro, leading a small force of conquistadors, arrived in the heart of the empire. Atahualpa, fresh from victory in the Civil War, underestimated the Spanish, believing their numbers too small to pose a serious threat. In Cajamarca, Pizarro invited Atahualpa to a meeting where the Spanish ambushed and captured the emperor. Despite Atahualpa offering an immense ransom, the largest known payment in history, consisting of a room filled with gold and silver, Pizarro executed him in 1533, eliminating a central figure of resistance. Collapse of the empire. The death of Atahualpa left the Inca Empire leaderless and in chaos. The Spanish advanced on Cusco, the empire's capital, encountering fragmented resistance. The conquest was aided by European diseases like smallpox, measles, and influenza, which decimated the indigenous population, killing millions and reducing the Inca's capacity for organized defense. By 1536, remnants of the Inca resistance had regrouped under Manco Inca Yupanqui, who fled to the mountainous jungle stronghold of Vilcabamba. For nearly 4 decades, the Incas resisted Spanish domination from this remote refuge. However, in 1572, Spanish forces captured and executed the last Inca emperor, Qhapaq Ñan, marking the definitive end of the empire. Legacy of the Inca civilization. The Inca Empire's legacy remains deeply woven in South American culture, particularly in Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, and Chile. Though conquered by the Spanish nearly 500 years ago, Inca influences persist in Andean language, agriculture, spiritual beliefs, architecture, and social structures, reflecting the civilization's enduring impact on modern life. Language and cultural resilience. Quechua, the primary language of the Incas, is still widely spoken and is an official language in Peru, with millions of speakers across the Andes. Revived interest in Quechua has led to new educational programs, media, and art forms that strengthen its role in Andean identity. The language keeps Inca cultural expression and values alive, offering a strong link to ancient heritage. Sustainable agriculture practices. Inca agricultural techniques, particularly terrace farming, are still practiced due to their sustainability. Terraces prevent soil erosion and support the cultivation of diverse crops, such as potatoes and quinoa, even on steep mountain slopes. These crops are globally popular today, highlighting the Incas' contributions to food security and sustainable farming. Agricultural experts study Inca methods for solutions to modern challenges like climate change, while native crops continue to bolster local economies. Medicinal knowledge and practices. Inca knowledge of Andean plants has had a lasting influence on medicine. The use of coca leaves for altitude sickness and pain, as well as cinchona tree extracts, quinine, for malaria, showcases the Incas' advanced understanding of herbal medicine. Today, many Andean communities maintain these practices through curanderos, healers, blending ancient methods with modern medicine and contributing to the modern resurgence of plant-based treatments. Global influence and rediscovery. The 1911 rediscovery of Machu Picchu spurred global fascination with the Inca Empire, prompting archaeological research and increasing appreciation for Inca achievements in architecture, agriculture, and social organization. Their legacy symbolizes indigenous resourcefulness and resilience, inspiring efforts to preserve indigenous knowledge and practices worldwide. Influence on modern Andean identity. Inca heritage is a source of pride in countries like Peru, where Inca symbols are part of national identity. Globally, the Inca legacy inspires movements advocating for indigenous rights and environmental protection, underscoring the Inca civilization's adaptability and enduring cultural influence. Inca achievements in language, sustainable farming, agriculture, medicine, and social organization continue to resonate, demonstrating the civilization's profound impact on both Andean life and global appreciation for indigenous contributions. Machu Picchu is simply stunning. It always blows me away. What a legacy the Incas have. Have you been to Machu Picchu? Let me know your experiences in the comments below. I would love to hear about them. This channel is for curious people just like us, who love mysteries, secrets, myths, and ancient history. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the rise and fall of the Inca civilization. So why not check out the rise and fall of the dinosaurs, or Tutankhamun, the boy king, on screen now. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, stay curious.